Good morning. It is currently almost 4 a.m. and I just I'm recording because around midnight I thought I'd do a little bit of Genshin and it turned out to be a lot of fun farming for artifacts, and I was like, you know what, while I'm feeling good about Genshin right now, I am going to do a bit of the Archon quest because I know I'm a little bit behind. There's a new patch coming out soon. Like, I need to step my pussy up. I need to. Okay, like, and I just, the Sabzeruz festival, I got to this point and it just like started blowing my mind. The story, it's got me by the balls. I should have turned the camera on as soon as I first heard time loop, but I wanted to start recording now because I'm about to find out the truth. But oh my gosh, I was like freaking out. I mean, mostly it was just like a couple hours of me being very confused and um
Jean will be upset if she catches us
Ember,
lazing around
shush.
like this.
I'm talking. Um I I'm getting like progressively more upset. Um, you know, somebody is going to pay. Mihoyo, once you deliver the truth,
Hmm.
I am going to give the academia my full amber wrath. Oh, they don't know what's coming. But um, what was I going to say? I started to feel like I was in a time loop. I started getting scared. It's the caffeine, but um, I just I didn't expect the story to go here. I started freaking out. I started thinking I was in a time loop, so I'm like, I'm going to record it so I can put this on YouTube and prove to myself that I'm not in a time loop.
Hey, there's something strange over there. Come on, let's take a look.
So yeah, let's get let's find out the truth together, shall we? Um, this bitch. I do not trust. I don't trust anybody in this fucking city. Oh, I have my theories about what's going on. So not a time loop. Um, maybe a dream. Space and time are being distorted, trapping us here. Something evil is afoot, for sure. I don't
Hmm.
know. I feel like they were talking earlier about the dance, the flower dance, and she's like, yeah, the gods stopped time for a moment so they could enjoy the flower dance. And maybe the Dendro Archon is upset that the flower dance didn't get to go off. But
Jean will be upset if she catches us lazing around like this.
um, what else? I don't know. I'm dying to find out the truth. Um, but maybe I misheard that, or I'm misremembering that they ever stopped time for the flower dance or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm gonna kick the academia's ass. Um, just thinking what else I had to say. What other crackpot theories did I dream up? Yeah, let's go. Okay. Oh yeah, the whole fact. Okay, so earlier in the Archon quests, um, the traveler meets the brother, her brother. For me, it's Lumine meets her brother, and he's like, once you find out the
Hey,
truth
there's
about this
something
world,
strange over there.
so
Come on, let's take a look.
definitely time loop for the whole Genshin universe. This whole Tevat is definitely a loop of some sort, and um, we're gonna get to the end of the journey. And like, I wonder if the game like resets your progress, kind of like in Ratchet and Clank, how you beat the game and then
Hmm.
you can like try the story again, but in challenge mode. I'm like, is it gonna be like that, or is it the setup for Genshin 2, Electric Boogaloo, where you just explore a whole different new world? I don't know, but I'm starting to think maybe Lumine's brother is right. We should have joined the Abyss Mages all along. No, I don't know. Okay, let's find out. I'm scared.
You're back. I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces,
Have we figured it out? Lumine has. I haven't.
are you ready to take your Sabzeruz exam and graduate from the festival?
What?
Okay. First off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
Oh god, I hate. Just tell me. Just tell me. I'm sorry. My mic has been wonky. I hope it picked up my voice earlier. Okay.
Okay. Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people. Okay.
No.
We've already experienced the Sabzeruz festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara. All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common: a lack of human presence.
Dreams with no human presence? So it told me the answer? Wait.
Those spaces remind me of dreams, like the one I had in the Avidia forest. Except these have no sign of human presence. The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean? People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange phenomenon.
So it's extracting their dreams and creating spaces, and from that, what? Truth behind dreams.
We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream. Rather, the Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
Submit.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when she was trying to describe them. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big dream together right now. Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this?
Oh god.
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis.
Operate.
It is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people.
Submit this one.
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That would explain why the Akasha has the ability to control people's dreams, too. But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything more to it than that?
I hear dreaming reinforces your knowledge.
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming.
Really?
In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom. So in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So it was all a dirty trick? The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh? Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
Oh god.
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still hear it every night, even... Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized. Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared. Grand Sage said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content. Did he mean something more? My mind feels exhausted, even though I haven't done too much thinking. What is going on?
The Matrix.
We've already experienced the Sabzeruz
Ooh.
festival many times. And the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara.
Let's associate this with this. Okay. You. Okay. Mass production of dreams. What? No, I want to hear about it.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream.
What?
Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sabzeruz festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha.
So, if you fall asleep in Sumeru, your consciousness goes to Sabzeruz Festival, and your dreams are harvested. Okay.
No one is
I
any
can
the
get it.
wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sabzeruz festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the Akasha, and so it continues.
So it's only this Sabzeruz Festival this day. It's not like Tevat worldwide.
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine. Did Paimon get that analogy right?
At least it's only dreams.
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into.
Creepy.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this stream doesn't do anything. Alright, last question. Who am I?
The Dendro Archon. Moon Illusion Nights. You're a lie.
Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions hinting at the sage's deception of Sumeru's people? Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions a hint that we're all dreaming? They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. So then, if Nahida has referred to herself as the moon...
She's the moon?
So you noticed.
She's Lesser Lord Kusanali. Hey! I knew it all along. Okay, I didn't. I thought she was like... I thought she would turn evil and be the grand sage of the academia. She's like, that's right. I'm your experiment overseer. Hehe.
I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last. That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. We just didn't want to expose you is all. Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
I have a lot of questions for you, but this doesn't seem like a good time.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here and now.
Okay, yeah, I have
You
questions.
asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense.
So it was dangerous because
Have
it
you
could
heard the
disrupt.
saying, don't wake a sleepwalker?
Yeah.
Likewise, If someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing.
Sleepwalking is a fascinating and scary um, thing on its own. Ugh, it all gives me the creeps. Just like it, it really did freak me out. I was just playing. I was like, okay, this is just another Archon quest. You know, turn in some missions, fetch an item, whatever, and then like just with no warning, you relive the same day again. And I started to get like, it's like, did I have I done this before? And yeah, it started scaring me. Okay.
Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sabzeruz festival, so it would be very difficult for them to find anything that strikes them as surreal. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memories from earlier samsara, right? That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. And in any case, their actual dreams are being taken away from them by the Akasha. So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sabzeruz festival, they don't remember anything from their previous identical dream. That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia forest, but couldn't see what it was about after waking up. Is that an example of what you mean? Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element's dream-enhancing power. That explains the feelings of deja vu. Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in the Sabzeruz Festival Samsara, while their dreams are stolen from them over and over again.
So the sages, they're such dicks. Not only are they harvesting our dreams, but they won't even let us celebrate the dance in a fake reality where it literally doesn't matter. Side
Can
effects.
humans really keep dreaming forever like this? Will it ever end? And if so, when? We might say your mental fatigue has already answered this question. Eventually, there's only so much that people can tolerate, especially those whose health is compromised to begin with, like Dunyarzad. This relentless exploitation takes an even harder toll on them. People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing! We've got to put a stop to this!
Just wait till I get you. Academia sages. So, why is
I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be a coincidence? Even you don't know the reason? Wow. Now that's strange.
I was gonna say, so the whole thing, you enter Sumeru and it's like, ooh, City of Wisdom. This is all it's about. And then, not only is there like the creepy undertone of like the academia having this chokehold on wisdom and administering it in like small doses to the population, and just like the very like the dystopian nature of that dressed as like a utopia. Anyways, it turned out this whole quest was about dreams, right?
The
And
Academia
hidden
sages are
truth.
determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter the cost. They have to be up to no good. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. Traveler, do you have any information?
Oh god. The Fatui.
Grand Sage said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content. Did he mean something more? Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the god of wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people.
Gnosis. We know the Fatui want the
Those
Gnosis
faces
seeds.
reminds me of dreams.
Okay.
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean...
What the hell? It didn't say anything. Celebrate the birth of that god. Are they trying to resurrect? I don't know. I don't have
Deceiving the
questions.
people of Sabzeruz with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do, this is unforgivable. After we end the Sabzeruz festival Samsara, we have to look into them. How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their Archon's back? This is ridiculous! In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun is long gone. A sun and a moon? Nahida's talking in riddles again.
No.
We're out of time today. I'll tell you how to break free of the Samsara tomorrow. See you then.
No, girl, tell me right now. You're not going to be here tomorrow.
Good
Yeah, you
morning,
better be
Nahida.
there.
Wait,
Junior's not.
now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali? Hey, what's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good. I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct. Did Dunyarzad already disappear? No way. Are we too late? The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting. Paimon can't believe it. Wait, so what about that other Dunyarzad? Just what is she? Is she also going to disappear? She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream. So another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of the dream that helps to keep it going. But personality-wise, she's nothing like the real Dunyarzad. Puppets are stiff and can't copy a living person's vitality. After all, they're just there as filler. You know, speaking of which, the old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet. Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness, and it was you who inspired her. So you do remember her after all. Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. It was as if she only lived to stall her Elazar. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon.
No, baby, just you wait. We're going to get you some artifacts. We're going to get you ascended to level 90. And then you're going in the team and you're going to kick. We're going to dismantle the Academia from the inside. And no sage will be left standing. I'm angry. I'm so angry.
I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sabzeruz festival with so many regrets. Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone. I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance between myself and a real Archon. Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real Archons are still allowed to be sad. To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the Samsara as soon as possible. Great, but how do we do that? Although the Sabzeruz festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it. Huh? So, how should we find that person? Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change anything in this dream. Imagination? What do you mean by that? Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when the server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and more on the plate, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold and mora. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always be food. Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens, the person will wake up and the dream samsara will be broken. How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack. And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming?
Who is that? Is it somebody I know? Is it the bodyguard? Is it the dancer?
After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker. It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host and ending the samsara. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town. Out of town?
She's taking a
Are
trip.
you going to that place full of dreams where the traveler went?
She's business.
Yes. I want to try something. There must still be a small wisp of possibility. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
My dreams are anything but
I'm
that.
a little upset that we've come this far
I
only
get
for
nightmares.
Dunyarzad to... She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate was against her. Yeah. Saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole time. But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. So let's break the samsara for her sake. Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this stream? Feels like it would be easier to control it that way, no?
Right? And they'd probably become aware that they were dreaming. An unsuspecting host would be less likely to realize this dream.
That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on there being other factors beyond their control, like Nahida and us. So, who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, is a symbol of the whole Sabzeruz festival, right? Pretty core character. Let's go ask him some questions, shall we?
Okay, I don't know how much longer I can record for.
Bet you can't keep up with me.
But I'll just keep going. I'll try to finish this quest. Go, go, go! I hate this city. Oh my god. It's a maze. And I'm not gonna let my stamina recharge. But where? Up here?
I'll race you there.
You. You will pay.
You're back. You left in a hurry last time. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Just, it's a little hard to explain. Would you mind taking part in a little experiment with us?
An experiment? That came out of nowhere. I'm listening, though. What do you need me to do?
Could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sabzeruz festival tradition or something?
Less questions, more wishing!
Paimon says what everybody's thinking.
Okay. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous saying this out loud, but I want Miss Dunyarzad to be happy.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't really talking to anyone. She just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so gentle and kind, and all the kids love her. I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Fairest Knight of Flowers is because I'm special to her, or something.
So, you have a crush on Dunyarzad?
Oh, is it that obvious?
Maybe.
After what I just said, I guess it is. When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to have a happy Sabzeruz festival. What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flowers for the rest of my life. 50 years? 100 years? I'll serve her till the end of time. Okay, yeah, that was a bit much. Felt like the right moment to get it off my chest, but that was pretty embarrassing. Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh, oh, you're
What?
Faki? Sorry, but only one portion of Yelda candies per person. Back home you go.
Child.
Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind. I don't need to see her appear right in front of me. As long as she's happy.
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy.
Maybe it's the error medallions that we keep they keep getting their cheeks clapped by the bodyguard.
It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her, but none of them has any idea that she...
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyarzad bumps into the kidnappers. Huh? But Dia can handle them. Hey, Traveler!
So is it her dream? Is it Dia's dream? Go, Amber, go. We're running out of time. Run like the wind. Ooh.
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take...
Leave these
Hey,
things to me.
this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you.
Leave.
You... Fine, alright. Knock yourself out. Why are you so worked up anyway? It's not like I don't trust your fighting skills.
Sorry, my lady.
Anyway, watch yourself.
It's my turn to take some aggression now.
So you got yourself some backup.
Just
Suit
it's
yourself.
supposed to dramatically
You're
crack my
going
knuckles,
down.
but
That's close enough.
A new punch.
I'll protect us.
let's go.
I'll be back.
Who's next? Who's next? Come on.
That's close enough.
No one escapes my...
I wonder if that was a good combo. No, sir.
Law of the jungle. I'll be back.
Which one of you is it?
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys?
Maybe so.
You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want to see you two like this. Oh, and speaking of her, Paimon just remembered something. Remember how during the first Sabzeruz festival, before the Samsara started, we came here with Dunyarzad because she wanted to pick something up? She said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. She pointed it out to us the night before the Sabzeruz festival. Yeah, even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll probably still help us more than this needle in a haystack search. This is the place. It's rude to enter other people's spaces without permission, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Hey, the windows are unlocked. Okay, Paimon's gonna take a peek inside. This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty much nothing inside except this book on the table. Should we open it?
Elegantly written note. After almost 16 days, I was finally able to get these notes written before the Sabzeruz festival. Once the festival ends, you and Paimon will probably continue your journey immediately, so I was hoping that I'd be able to give this to you before that. This is a compilation of folk legends concerning Lesser Lord Kusanali, created from a series of interviews that I conducted in succession and wrote down. I interviewed so many people, but I'm afraid there are very few who know much about her. Still, I hope that this will be of use to you in your search for her. Gandharvaville's water supply was once contaminated, forcing everyone to go very far out to get water, but one day people suddenly found that the water was drinkable again, and some said that a green light was seen near the water source the previous night. Everyone believes that this was the divine power of Lesser Lord Kusanali at work. This sounds quite possible. The decontamination of water sources via natural means probably takes ages, but did Lesser Lord Kusanali appear in Gandharvaville then? After Mama passed away, I was super afraid of the dark and couldn't sleep, but from one day on, I would hear a voice that would chat with me till I fell asleep. A nice lady told me that Lesser Lord Kusanali must have been watching over me. Poor child. I hope that the Sabzeruz festival makes him a little happier. This is quite similar to something I experienced back then as well. She is indeed a gentle god. There was this one time when I had a wee bit too much to drink and couldn't find my way home to save my life. Then, when I turned a corner, I could have sworn I saw Lesser Lord Kusanali. She was very tall and had the most muscular arms, and she caught me when I slipped and fell. The next morning, I found myself sleeping under a tree. I reckon that must have been her looking out for me. I'm not sure this one has that much valuable as a reference. That was probably just a tree, right? What? Tall and muscular? These folk records, appended with Dunyarzad's references and opinions, leave every page densely packed. So, why is she out of town on vacation? Is it
Dunyarzad wrote all
the
of
Archon
this.
stream?
Sounds like she was always thinking of us, even while we were away. Even though she was also busy preparing for the Sabzeruz festival and had all her health problems to worry about. She must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the day of the Sabzeruz festival, right? If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we can't even thank her. Hey! Where are you off to now?
Traveler, please tell me what you're thinking. Don't leave me in the dark. Talk to Dunyarzad. What's going on? Can I teleport out of here? It looks like I can, so what is the truth? Dunyarzad, where are you?
It's Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago.
Did she say something to give us a clue?
Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilu's Dance of Sabzeruz.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
Go.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come... What? Where are we going this time?
Watch the dance of Sabzeruz. Damn right we are. Where?
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every single event organizer. The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency. I advise that you exercise tact.
How did things turn out like this?
Yes. Sir.
Traveler? You don't have to get involved. He's a sage from the academia. I don't want to drag you into this.
Traveler.
I'm gonna beat this bitch up.
Traveler, what the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the academia, that's another day gone to waste. Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff?
Just like I thought they're
Oh,
puppets.
of course! If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage?
Look for a moment. What's with those flowers? They are the wrong color. Or the right color.
Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Padisaras went extinct after her death.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Padisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful shade of purple.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Padisaras? Just like the ones from the legend? I didn't even notice. Dunyarzad, did you find these?
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away? So, how?
Yeah. What's going on here? Huh?
Imagine that the Grand Sage and his entourage are not here for
You
the video.
guys are acting weird. But okay, I'll try.
Yes, girl. Slay.
Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host. What a surprise! Purple Padisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, they can appear as decorations on the stage. It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assumed there will be food on a plate, and Nilu assumed there would be real Padisaras in the flower pots. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu? But if we want to
I
end
wonder
the
if it...
samsara, we need the host to become aware that they're dreaming.
I wish I had seen that detail a long
How
time
should we
ago.
make Nilu realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
Yes, right on the money.
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali responding to our celebration of the Sabzeruz festival?
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this is a dream? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a journey to find the Dendroarchon.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in Sumeru City. So it was about the first sage, huh?
All the pieces
Yep.
falling together.
But in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. There's more to the story. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendroarchon, and she finally gave her blessing to him. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for far too long. They must be worried." The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as if he had just woken up from a dream. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love." In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City and founded the Academia. What a happy ending.
Well, so I have him to thank.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story? He never went on his journey?
Suspicious. Or did he start dreaming and everything has been a dream ever since?
Yes. But his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so she blessed him in the form of a dream.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But we really gotta wake up soon, like the sage in the story.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sabzeruz festival is almost over too. Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sabzeruz as beautiful as we can.
Please, dance your heart out.
The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of Sabzeruz.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Yes.
Oh, good morning, traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest time.
Yeah, my head hurts.
Paimon's head feels super heavy. Did we oversleep? Do you even remember going to sleep last night? Paimon thinks it was after the Sabzeruz festival. The Sabzeruz festival! Have we finally escaped from the Sabzeruz samsara? Quick! Take off your Akasha terminal!
At the end of the dance, Sabzeruz, I think it's out. Quick, let's go see Dunyarzad.
She's not in her room. What happened? Huh? What usual spot?
Find Dunyarzad. I'm on it. Go, Racer, go. Run faster.
Well done, Traveler and Paimon.
Catherine?
And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sabzeruz festival for me.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad! You're okay! Oh, don't scare us like that!
Oh, Traveler Paimon. I have something amazing to tell you. I just had a dream. And I saw Nilu performing the dance of Sabzeruz.
Hey, quest completed. Talk to Catherine. Oh, we got a Dendro constellation for the Traveler. Okay, Catherine, give us the tea. What's going on now? What's the next
You're
move?
actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sabzeruz festival. And Dunyarzad, did you save her? It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the Traveler's favorite bench?
Okay, I wouldn't say it's my favorite bench, but I'll let it slide. Where? Is it this way? Am I getting lost? I think so. Oh, there's a teleport waypoint somewhere that I haven't unlocked. I'm out of stamina. Oh, goodbye, world. Where am I going? I thought I was getting closer, but I got further and further.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's all right. After we parted on the last day of the Sabzeruz festival, I left the city and saw what the Traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible, but it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara. So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. Not a moment too soon.
This is truly a miracle, but is there like a greater samsara happening?
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time observing human emotions. Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently. All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
But what I
In the
saw.
Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the Traveler fall unconscious and dream of a huge tree and a red sky. You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world and forget me. Yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting to ask you what that was about, and if the red sky was related to Conria. It seems like the Traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul. Perhaps her last memory before she died. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up, so your suspicions are reasonable. A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from the Scarlet King. The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their conspiracies. Okay, so what does the message mean? I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing that. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it.
Ooh.
Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it. So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is sick. Is it because of the contaminated consciousness? But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, it seems like our search for you was all in vain. The Traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. With you here, we may have a chance at deciphering it. No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that might affect Irminsul. This is the only one left. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tevat's.
Alright. So that's our next move. Why do you look
To
like
be
Catherine?
accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness.
She's possessing her?
How did you do that? Poor Catherine. Does this mean you can also occupy other people's consciousnesses? Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been linked to the Akasha. I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet.
Bionic?
Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about her.
Don't say that, Paimon. Catherine was
What about
queen.
your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surasthana? That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self and took me back to Sumeru. At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surasthana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But I've hardly heard from them since. However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing. So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? How dare they! Why don't you teach them a lesson, Nahida?
Exactly,
In
Paimon.
some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her death, the Akasha is still empowering this nation. And I'm still really far away from being able to call myself the God of Wisdom. Moreover, the academia is also more proficient at governing this country. My existence has little meaning.
To me, you're already in
Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at the Sabzeruz festival. Everyone who showed up truly loves you. Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as I can connect my consciousness to the Akasha. Trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. I will work on that, and try to live up to being a deity in the meantime. Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. Doing all that should be enough.
Damn, that was a long explanation about Catherine. Okay, about the Sage's
There's
plan.
never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step out of line. I wonder what caused them to go down this path, and what they hope to achieve. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the Traveler hadn't broken the Sabzeruz samsara, the situation could have become dire. I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious. And all the people of interest seem to purposely avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. I think they're deliberately trying to hide something. Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Tainari to join some kind of project. Could it be related?
I knew Tainari was sus. He's next on my shit list. We're gonna go question him.
Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives, make things right, and punish them if needed. But I'll have to be discreet, or they'll see me coming.
No, no,
You
no,
mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams? Yeah, it's been such a long time. No one's noticed something's up? It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection. Misdirection? The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Not dreaming is a badge of honor in Sumeru, even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the Akasha to facilitate their research. Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. That's why I've never come out strongly against this. Anyway, the perspective advocated by the sages drowned out any voices of doubt. By now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams.
Sad. Okay, no other questions, Catherine. I mean, Nahida.
Got it. I hope my answers were satisfactory, seekers of knowledge. To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental energy. I think I may need to rest for a while. Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now. The Akasha won't be able to conduct another project on the scale of the Sabzeruz Samsara in the immediate future. Go and get some sleep. Leave everything to us. What a relief. This is truly the most exhausting birthday I've ever had.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We
Do robots
to walk
sleepwalk?
by, so we thought we'd wait for you to wake up.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine. I better go. Thank you.
She's Najnaya technology? Well, I hope that won't be a problem. Okay. Talk to Effendi. I don't have time. I need to digest all that I have learned and witnessed. And God, that was a nightmare and a half. Well, thank you for watching. I'm going to stop recording now. Good night.